Because these are terrible.
And then it's freezing, so.
Yeah, the heat's right here. Here we go, boys. Sorry, the scoreboard's not working, so we'll just have to rely on me telling you the score. Nichols in for the draw against the U13A Richmond Hill Jaguars. Flyers win that. Way gets the puck on the far boards. A little bit of battle here. He bumps his guy off the puck. There was just a whistle, but no call for that.
Do they have anything other than their own shit? I know.
Yeah, you read the rest. What is it if you sit down the same line?
Well, that didn't take long to somebody got hurt.
No.
$12 bottle.
It's like $10 the lab.
But here's the thing. When you drink your mask, whether it's there we go.
Start to the game here. Nichols in for the face-off. Nickel bumps that up to just to the blue line. The Jaguars are able to keep it in and dump it behind the Flyers net. Jackson's there to take a piece of it, dump it a little closer to the near boards to Lenny. Lenny back to Savory. Savory back up to Lenny again. Lenny tries to get it down around the boards, but couldn't quite get it there. Picks it back up again behind the board, passes it to Hickey, who passes it up the ice, and a shot on net and held by the Richmond Hill goalie. Randall in for the face-off. Gets tangled up in their feet. DeCamillis picks that up, tries to take a shot on net, gets ricocheted wide. DeCamillis back on the puck with Randall. Gets picked up by the Jaguars and brought to the near boards. Jaguars bump it back in behind the Flyers net. Felix is there to tip it up towards Hunter, and Hunter clears it out. Jaguars in the neutral zone, setting back up, bring it back into the Flyers zone. DeCamillis quickly picks him off of it and gets bumped along the boards. Richmond Hill picks up the puck, brings it deep behind the net, a little bit of a tangle up there, and it comes out on the far boards up to Hunter. Richmond Hill shoots it back behind the net, up the side again. To Felix. Felix picks it up, passes it to DeCamillis, who dumps it up the ice. Randall picks it up at the blue line, but couldn't quite keep it in. And DeCamillis dumps it in and to go for a quick change. Hunter pressuring in the Jaguars zone. Ends up offside. Flyers clear it out and go back in. Richmond Hill dumps it up the boards. Deep into the Flyers zone where the Jaguars pick it up. Way's there to pick it off of him. Way bringing it up into the neutral zone. Takes a shot on net, wide. Telford's there for the rebound, takes a shot towards the net, couldn't quite get it to Kelly, and it's bumped up the boards by the Jaguars. Jaguars bring it into the Flyers zone with pressure from the Flyers. Jaguars keeping it in at the blue line. Dumps it towards the net. Pressure by Andretti. They take a shot and score. 7:19 left of the period. 1-0 for Richmond Hill. Nickel in for the face-off. Bumps that up to Richmond Hill. Dump it into the Flyer zone. Sloan, hot on the puck, dumps it back up to Savory. Skates past the Jaguars, and there's a little battle against the boards. Nickel up to Lenny. Lenny brings it into the Jaguars zone, deep behind the net. Nickel's there to help pick it up back up again, but it's brought up the far boards by Richmond Hill. Savory's there to keep it in, but gets bumped up by Richmond Hill. A battle under the ref's feet here. Richmond Hill picks it up and brings it into the almost into the zone, and Savory's able to dump it back out again. Richmond Hill passing up to the boards. It's picked up center ice. Luckily, it's bumped off by Savory and Sloan, who get out of the zone. Richmond Hill brings it right back in again. Dumped back out. Richmond Hill takes a shot to deep into the Flyer zone, and Savory's there to pick it up along the boards. Savory dumps it up to the red line. Richmond Hill tries to dump it back in, but gets a little bit blocked by the Flyers as they're coming off the bench. DeCamillis picks up the puck and tripped by Richmond Hill, and they're going to the box. Got 5:59 left of the first period. Penalty 2 minutes for Richmond Hill for tripping. Still 1-0 for Richmond Hill. Randall in for the face-off. A little 5-on-4 hockey here for the Flyers. Richmond Hill gets a piece of that, dumps it out of the zone. Jeffrey Stedman's there to pick it up. Jeffrey Stedman cross ice to James Felix. Felix up to Randall. Randall tries to pick it out of the feet of the Jaguars, but couldn't quite get it. Bump back to Felix. Felix up to DeCamillis in his feet, who brings it into the Richmond Hill zone. Takes a shot on net. The goalie gets a piece of that and clears it wide to the boards. Brings it to the blue line. Jeffrey Stedman takes a shot just wide of the net. Felix there pressuring to keep it in the zone. Couldn't quite get it, but Randall was there to dump it back in. Richmond Hill takes the puck and clears it down the ice. Milks is there to play the puck behind the net. Passes it to Felix. Felix pressured by the Jaguars. Passes it up to Randall, who brings it into the neutral zone. Randall tried to center it, but couldn't quite get a piece of it, and Richmond Hill clears back out again. Wade picks up the puck behind the net, bring it into the neutral zone, right into the Jaguar zone with 48 seconds left of the penalty. Wade looking for somebody to pass to, passes it back up to O'Shea. O'Shea up to Telford. Gets pinned on the boards there with 4:35 left of the period. Wade picks it up at the blue line. Tries to skate around his man, but loses the puck and deep into the boards. Andretti's there to pick it back up. Wade picks it up. Takes a shot towards the net. Blocker saved by their goalie. 18 seconds left of the penalty. Flyers couldn't quite keep it in. It gets dumped out by the Jaguars. Wade to Telford. Telford couldn't quite get it. Richmond Hill tries to clear it. O'Shea gets a piece of it and brings it back into the neutral zone. That's the end of that penalty for the Jaguars. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey with just 4 minutes left of the first period. Telford picks up the puck, brings it into the Richmond Hill zone, skates around a couple men, tries to get towards the net, but gets bumped off. Kelly pressuring, tries to keep it in, but couldn't quite get there, and it sneaks past Way. O'Shea trying to keep them away from the goalie. Richmond Hill takes a shot. It's saved by Milks. Richmond Hill tries to center it again, and it's bumped off the puck by Aki. He passes up to Kelly, and Kelly brings it deep into the Jaguar zone. Jaguars get right back out again. And Savory and Sloan are there chasing the puck into the Flyer zone. Lunny picks up the puck neutral zone ice, tries to skate around the man, but gets bumped off by the Jaguars and brought along the boards. Nichols there to help out. Flyers are able to clear it out, and Jackson Savory's there to pick it up at the red line. Couldn't quite get a piece of it, and there's a battle going into the Flyer zone. Jaguars on the puck. Picks it up center ice, takes a shot, and glove save by Milks. 2:40 left of the period. Face off deep in the Flyer zone. Got Nickel in for the face-off. Flyers win that, dump it back to Jeffrey Stedman. Jeffrey Stedman back along the boards up to Aki at the far boards. Couldn't quite get a piece of it, and Jaguars bring it behind the Flyers net. A little bit of battle back and forth here. They pick it up and center it. Take a shot on net, just goes high and wide. A little bit of a scramble. Flyers are able to pick it up, and Jeffrey Stedman brings it up the boards. Couldn't quite get it out. Lenny was there, but it chipped off his stick and deep into the boards again. A little bit of battle. Jeffrey Stedman passes it up, but Richmond Hill picks it up in center ice. Still a little bit more of a back and forth. Flyers can't quite get it out of the zone. Jeffrey Stedman tries to clear it out. It's brought back again behind the net. Nichols there to help out. Richmond Hill tried to center it, but it's picked off by Lenny and brings it out of the zone. Lenny on the zone takes a shot just high and wide. Mills is there to pick up that rebound, dumping on the boards up to Lenny or Aki again. Richmond Hill on the puck again, brings it out of the zone. Gets bumped past Jeffrey Stedman, but Felix is there to help out and brings it on the near boards. Felix bring it up out of the zone. Gets picked off, but Randall's there to help out. Randall along the boards. He brings it out to the center ice. It's picked off by Richmond Hill. He needs a little help here. Nobody's there to help him. And Richmond Hill successfully brings it out again. Way pressuring his man. And shot on net and saved by Milks. 51.7 seconds left of the first period. Randall in for the face-off. Wins that, but Richmond Hill bumps it towards the boards again. Way's there, pressuring his man, tries to pick up the puck, but Richmond Hill is successful, picks it up. Saved by Milks and picked up the rebound by Hunter. Hunter bringing it deep into the Richmond Hill zone, couldn't quite get a handle on it, tries to center it. Richmond Hill picks it off. Richmond Hill sends it up the boards to the red line where Way's there to pick it up. Way resetting, passes it back to Andretti up to Randall, who gets picked off the puck as he tries to clear out to change. It's kept in by Way, shot towards the nets, went high and wide. Way again tries to take a shot, just didn't quite get a piece of it. Picked up by Hunter, takes a shot and blocker save. And that's the end of the first period. Score is still 1-0 for Richmond Hill Jaguars going into the second period. Go, starting the second period, sorry, Andretti in for the face-off. Flyers win that, pick it up, bring it into the Jaguar zone. Andretti hot on the puck, putting it into the corner, gets bumped off the puck by Richmond Hill. Telford's there to help out, tries to pick it up again, gets bumped off by Richmond Hill. Sloan picks up the puck at the blue line. Battles to keep it in, but hops over his stick. Flyers reset just outside of the zone. Savory up to Kelly. Kelly takes a shot just wide of the net. Telford picks up that rebound along the far boards. Centers it. It's cleared out by the Jaguars goalie, and the Jaguars pick up that rebound and bring it out of the zone. Jaguars deep into the Flyers zone. Center it, saved by Milks, and cleared out to the near boards. Flyers try to get it out, but it's been brought up on the boards to Telford. Telford brings it up to Kelly, who couldn't quite get a stick on it, and the Jaguars pick it up again and put it back into the Flyer zone. Savory behind the net, resetting, passing it up to Kelly. Kelly's bringing it into the Jaguar zone. Gets picked up by the Jaguars. Savory's there to pick it up, passes it back up to Lenny. Lenny dumps it down, tries to dump it down, but goes off the back of a Richmond Hill player, and it's brought back out of the Richmond Hill zone. Lenny on the puck, passes it to Savory, to his feet. He couldn't quite get a piece of it. We'll battle close to the boards here. Nickel takes a tumble, but Aki picks up the puck and brings it out of the zone. Aki along the boards gets bumped by Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill tried to clear it, but James Felix was there to keep it in. James Felix again, keeping in the puck and passing it up to Aki, who couldn't quite get a stick on it. James Felix again keeps it in at the blue line, tries to bring it himself, but gets bumped off by Richmond Hill, and Richmond Hill sends it down the ice for icing. 12:50 left of the second period. Still 1-0 for Richmond Hill.
It might not be the
Aki in for the face-off. Flyers win that, pass it back to Lenny to Jeffrey Stedman. And then it's cleared down the ice. Face off back again in the Jaguar zone with 12:40 left of the period. Aki in for the face-off. When Jaguars pick that puck up, try to clear it out, it's kept in by Lenny. Nickel takes a shot on the net, and it's held by the Jaguars goalie. Aki in for the face-off again. Jaguars win that and pick it up between the feet and bring it out of the zone. Lenny hot on their tail, trying to bump them off the puck, keeps them close to the boards. Lenny picks up that puck from them, brings it out of the zone. Gets tripped up, but no call. Battle along the boards. Aki's there to pick up that along the boards for Lenny. And we're going to the box, I think. He said something.
Did he say something?
He said something, yeah. So Lenny got 2 minutes for chirping, I think, to the refs. So 12:04 left of the period, and Flyers are going on the penalty kill for 2 minutes. We have Randall in for the face-off. He wins that back to Wade, and Wade clears it up out of the zone. Camillus chasing the puck down, couldn't quite get a piece of it, and Richmond Hill picks it up at center ice. Pressure from Randall, they were unable to get all of it, but they got a piece of it anyway and took a shot just wide of the net. Richmond Hill sending the puck deep behind the net. A little bit of battle on the boards with Way and O'Shea. Flyers pick it up, and Randall brings it up out of the zone. Randall using the boards to bump it up deep into the Jaguar zone. Holds it along the boards here. Wasting some time trying to kill this penalty off with 1:16 left of the penalty kill for the Flyers. Randall takes a shot on net, and it's cleared out by Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill picks it off of Randall and brings it up down the center of ice. Nice save by Milks, and there's a whistle for the net off.
Where are you going? Right here.
55 seconds left of the penalty. 10:59 of the game, or the the period. And then actually DeCamillis got a 2-minute penalty for tripping on that play. So it'll be 5-on-3 hockey for a little bit here. Nickel in for the face-off. Richmond Hill wins that, brings it up towards the blue line and bumps it up the boards to their players. A little bit of pressure from Nickel, trying to keep it on the outside. They pick up the puck, try a slap shot towards the net, goes behind the net. Nickel's there to pick it up and clears it out of the zone. 33 seconds left of one penalty and 1:36 left of the other. 10:30 left of the game, the period. I'll get this right eventually. Richmond Hill picks it up, brings it into the zone. Sloan there pressuring, bumps his man off the puck. Nickel's there to hold it onto it to waste a little time here. Sloan's there too to pick him off of it. Richmond Hill keeps it in at the blue line, and Sloan's there, tries to clear it out, bounces off a couple players, and it's stuck in. Richmond Hill picks up the puck, takes a shot on net, just goes wide. Milks is there to make the rebound save. A little battle against the boards again, behind the net. Richmond Hill picks up the puck, centers it, takes a shot on net, saved by Milks, cleared to the far boards. Sloan's there battling against the boards to try to pick him off of it. Richmond Hill picks up the puck again, shot on net again, saved by Milks again. cleared out, but not quite out of the zone. Richmond Hill picks up the puck, takes a shot towards the net, goes behind the net. Sloan's there to help pick it up. Can't quite get a piece of it, and Richmond Hill bump it to the near boards. A little bit of battle there. Can't quite see who it is. Lenny's there to block the puck. The puck goes wide along the far boards. Lenny there pressuring with Sloan. Richmond Hill tried to center it, couldn't quite get a piece of it. Pick it up again just on the face-off circle. Shot was blocked by Nickel in the ankle, and it's finally cleared out. DeCamillis on pop off the penalty, picks it up, takes a shot towards the net, and no goal. Saved by the Richmond Hill goalie. Tries to reset, do it again, takes another shot, and scores. Goal by number 7, Luca DeCamillis. With 8:44 left of the second period, the game is now tied 1-1. Got Randall in for the face-off. Wins that, bumps it back to Jeffrey Stedman. Jeffrey Stedman up the boards to Hunter. Couldn't quite get a piece of it. Richmond Hill are able to bump it back out again. Jeffrey Stedman keeping it close to the Jaguar zone. Clears it into the zone, but couldn't quite keep it in there. Jeffrey Stedman picking up the puck again on the Flyers blue line. Dumps it up the boards to Hunter, and it's right back again out, and the Jaguars dump it back into the Flyers zone. And that's icing. We'll go all the way back to the Jaguar zone with 8:15 left of the period. Andretti in for the face-off. Richmond Hill wins that. Dumps it up the boards to the blue line. Jeffrey Stedman couldn't quite keep it in. It's bumped down the boards. James there to help him out. James Felix there to help him out. Brings it along the Flyers net. Up to Telford on the far wing. Passes it over to Kelly. He brings it into the Richmond Hill zone. Richmond Hill dumps it out quickly. Jeffrey Stedman's there to keep it at the red line. Passes it to Felix. Felix to Jeffrey Stedman. Jeffrey Stedman goes for a skate and dumps it deep into the zone. Telford there pressuring behind the net. Kelly to help out. Couldn't quite keep it, but Jeffrey Stedman's there to keep it in the zone. Passes it up to Telford. Telford tries to center it. The sticks were lifted by the Flyers, so they couldn't quite get a piece of it. Richmond Hill brings it out, but it's picked up quickly by Andretti. Andretti over to Jeffrey Stedman on the near boards. Brings it into the Jaguar zone, takes a shot on net, and it's held by their goalie. 7:14 left of the second period. Aki in for the face-off. Richmond Hill wins that. Dumps it to the blue line. Ways there to keep it in. Tries to take a shot. Gets a little bit of it, but couldn't quite get a piece of it. And the Richmond Hill dump it deep into the Flyer zone. O'Shea pressuring his man. Was able to bump him off of it. Nickel picks it up. Tries to pass it to Way. Couldn't quite get a piece of it, but the Flyers were able to dump it back out of the zone. Lunny pressuring his man. Comes up along the boards to try to get a piece of it, gets it to Nickel. Nickel being pressured here by a few of the Jaguars. Ends up passing it out. Passes it to Lenny. Lenny takes a shot just wide of the net. Aki at the boards, near boards. Passes it out. Way picks it up. Takes a shot towards the net, and it's saved by the Richmond Hill goalie. A little bit of shoving in front of the net. Randall in for the face-off. Flyers win that. Tried to bump it back, but couldn't quite get it. But DeCamillis picked it up and dumped it tried to dump it around the boards, but the ref was in the way, so the puck kind of sat still for a bit there. Randall battling on the boards, couldn't quite get a piece of it, and Richmond Hill dump it deep down into the Flyer zone. Icing's waved off. Way picks up the puck, brings it along the boards, passes it up to Hunter, who couldn't quite get a piece of it. Puck skips out to DeCamillis, who trips a little, but he's able to dump it deep into the Jaguar zone. Randall takes a shot towards the net. Rebound went behind the net. Richmond Hill picks up that rebound and brings it out of the zone deep into the Flyer zone. DeCamillis on the pressuring them was able to bump him off the puck, and then it was cleared out by Way. Randall hot on that puck. Brings it behind the Jaguar zone. It's bumped off a bit. Skates around his man, but gets bumped down again. Puck comes out to the ice. Savory takes a shot just wide. Rebound came out. Hunter tried to take a shot just wide. Savory picks it up at the blue line, takes a shot again just wide. Frankie picks up the puck, dumps it deep around the boards. Picked up on the near boards by Savory, keeping it in the zone to Telford. Telford takes a shot and glove save by the Richmond Hill goalie. 4:50 left of the second period. Tied 1-1 still. Andretti in for the face-off. Wins that back to Savory. Savory takes a shot towards the net. Stopped by Telford. Telford tries to take a shot blocked by the Richmond Hill and brought around the near boards. Savory there to keep it in again. And again, takes a shot towards the net. Telford gets tripped, and the Richmond Hill are going to the box. Two minutes for tripping with 4:30 left of the second period. Be 5-on-4 hockey here for the Flyers. A bit of a power play here, boys. Use it to get you ahead. Got Andretti in for the face-off. Wins that, passes it back to Sloan, who passes it up to, sorry, I can't, Telford. And it's bumped off the puck by Richmond Hill, who clears it out of the zone. Sloan picks up the puck behind the net, tries to regroup, passes it up to Savory. Savory to Kelly at the blue line, passes it cross ice to Telford. Couldn't quite get a piece of it, and Richmond Hill dump it deep into the Flyer zone again. Savory up to Kelly. Kelly bumps it off the boards, and Richmond Hill dump it right back again. This time Sloan's there to pick it up around the net. Goes the other way this time up to Telford on the far boards. Telford couldn't quite get a piece of it, and Richmond Hill take a shot wide of the net again. Savory up to Telford. Telford brings it into the Jaguar zone towards the net, just goes wide. Kelly there tries to pick it up. It ricochets off his stick and comes to the near boards up to Savory. Savory shot towards the net, just wide. Felix is there to keep it in the zone still, and the Richmond Hill bump it back out. That's offside for the Flyers, and the face-off will be just outside the zone. 42 seconds left of the penalty and 3:12 left of the period. We have Aki in for the face-off. Flyers win that to Lenny. Lenny to Jeffrey Stedman. Stedman up the boards to Nickel. Nickel tries to center it, couldn't quite get it, and goalie got a piece of it and cleared it out. Aki picks it up again, takes a shot, and a glove saved by the Richmond Hill goalie. 2:56 left of the period, 26 seconds left of the penalty. Aki in for the face-off. Richmond Hill pick up that puck, bring it out of the zone. Felix and Jeffrey Stedman are there to pressure him. They take a shot on net, saved by Milks, picked up, rebound by Felix, who brings it out of the zone. Richmond Hill pick it back up again and dump it back in. Jeffrey Stedman's there to reset. Jeffrey Stedman to Felix. Felix tried to cross the ice pass but couldn't quite get there. Aki is able to pick it back up again, and that's the end of the penalty for Richmond Hill. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Lenny dumps the puck into the Richmond Hill zone, and Richmond Hill brings it right back out again. 2:17 left of the period, and that was an offside by Richmond Hill. Randall in for the face-off. Wins that. Back to Way. Way up to Hunter on the near boards. Richmond Hill pick it back up and dump it right back in again. Way picking up the puck, bringing it around and out of the zone. Austin gets picked off by the Richmond Hill just at the blue line, and they try to bring it back in the zone. Couldn't quite get there. Deacon Melissa's there to pick up that puck. Dumps it part way into the zone. Couldn't quite keep it in there. And Richmond Hill's bringing it back into the Flyer zone again. O'Shea pressuring his man to take a shot wide of the net. Rebounds picked up on the near boards by Hunter. Richmond Hill picks it up again though, tries to center it. Puck's bumped off by Randall. A little bit of a back and forth on the boards with O'Shea and Randall. A couple of the Jaguars. Jaguars get a piece of it. Again, send it back behind the net. Richmond Hill tried to center, couldn't quite do it, and went far deep into the Jaguar zone. Hunter on their tail, trying to pressure them to give up the puck in their zone. Couldn't quite get it, but bumped back to neutral zone and brought back into the Flyer zone by Richmond Hill. Andretti's there to pick it up, passes it up to Randall. Randall brings it out into the neutral zone, back into the Jaguar zone. Bumped off with the puck by Richmond Hill and couldn't quite keep it in. Andretti chasing the puck down before Richmond Hill can get to it. Dumps it up to the far boards, up to Sloan. Little battle on the boards with Sloan and Savory. Richmond Hill was able to center but couldn't quite get a shot on net. Kelly brings it out of the zone, tries to bring it into the Jaguar zone. It's picked off by the Jaguars. Jaguars along the boards with Savory and Kelly. Picked up by Sloan, brought out the far boards, and that's the end of the second period. Tied 1-1 going into the third period.
Yes, it is.
Right, here we go, starting the third period of the game against Richmond Hill Jaguars. Tied 1-1 going into the third. Got Akian for the face-off. Richmond Hill pick up that puck. Couldn't quite get all of it. It's picked up by Nickel and brought into the Jaguar zone. Nickel takes a shot and scores. Great way to start the period. That's a goal by number 97, Kaden Nickel. 2-1 for the Orangeville Flyers with 14:49 left of the third period. Not Nickel in for the face-off. Wins that, dumps it back to Savory. Savory up to Lunny. Lunny to Sloan. Sloan gets the puck picked off him, but is there to pick it back up again, but deep into the Flyer zone. Little battle on the boards here with Aki, Sloan, and Lenny. Lenny gets a piece of it and brings it up the near boards and out of the zone. Lenny using the boards, tries to bump it up, couldn't quite get it all the way where he wanted to. Richmond Hill picks it back up. Battle just outside the blue line. Aki and Lenny. Puck squeaks out, but Richmond Hill picks it up and resets and dumps it deep into the Flyer zone. Sloan picks up that puck, tries to pass it to Lenny, gets tangled up in his feet, but Lenny bumps it up into the Jaguar zone. Lenny still has the puck, centers it to DeCamillis, hot off the bench. Couldn't quite get a piece of his. Richmond Hill bumped their sticks and is bumped back up to Lenny. Lenny resetting to Savory. Savory back to Lenny. Lenny dumps it deep so they can get a change for their forwards. DeCamillis on the boards, passes it up, gets it bumped off and kept in by Sloan and then kept in by Randall again. Puck gets bumped off but kept in by Hunter on the blue line and then dumped back in and brought back out again by Richmond Hill. Couldn't quite control that puck. DeCamillis is able to pick it up. He gets it up to Randall, and Randall brings it into the Jaguar zone. Randall fans on the puck, but is able to pick it back up again. Tries to center it, but couldn't quite get where we needed it to be. Richmond Hill picks it back up again and dumps it deep into the zone. A little bit of a tumble here as they were trying to get off. They both weren't looking and hit into each other. Andretti picks up the puck. Hunter tries to center it, couldn't quite get it, goes past the Flyers and is picked up by Felix. Felix tried to dump it back to Randall but couldn't quite get a piece of it. It was brought in by the Jaguars. A little messy right now. Jaguars dump it deep behind the net and into the near boards. A little battle here with Telford, Felix. And the puck squeaks out. Saved by Milks and held for the whistle. Got 12:02 left of the third period. Still 2-1 for Orangeville Flyers. Sure what's going on, but face-off is happening with Andretti. Wins that, passes it back to way up the near boards up to Telford. Telford couldn't quite get it out. Richmond Hill sent it deep down behind the net. Richmond Hill tried to center it, but picked off by Telford and Way. And the puck's picked up by Kelly to bring it out of the zone. Andretti's there trying to get a piece of it, but ends up offside. Andretti picks up that puck, brings it deep into the Jaguar zone. Along the boards up to O'Shea. O'Shea keeps it in, tries to center, couldn't quite get a piece of it. And the Jaguars are chasing down into the zone. Tried to pass it. O'Shea gets back on time to block his man from taking the shot. And Richmond Hill gets blocked again by Austin. And Austin brings it out of the zone. Austin takes a slap shot, sends it deep into the Richmond Hill zone. Ricochets back up to the middle. Richmond Hill resetting here. Bringing it out of their zone. Gets tied up in their feet, but Kelly couldn't quite get a piece of it. Savory dumps it deep into the zone. Richmond Hill brings it back out again. Up along the near boards, where Aki pressured his man off the puck. Sloan's there to help pick up the puck, sends it deep around the boards to Savory, and Savory tries to get it out, but couldn't quite get it all the way out. Caden picks up that puck all along the boards. Passes it up to Lunny, who couldn't quite get a piece of it, but it's chipped into the Richmond Hill zone. Lunny picking it up at the blue line. Passes it up to Aki, who gets bumped into the boards. Lunny tries to center it, couldn't quite get a piece of it, and it's brought out just outside the zone and picked up by Richmond Hill. 9:59 left of the game. Still 2-1 for Orangeville Flyers. Jaguars send it deep down behind the net. It's picked up there by Savory. Passes up to D. Camillus around the boards and brings it out of the zone. Aki battling with D. Camillus and some Jaguars. Sends it to Sloan, who bumps it up to Lunny up the boards to the blue line and in the Jaguar zone. Richmond Hill's getting a little chippy. Jeffrey Stedman picks up the puck, tries to clear it out, but couldn't quite get it all the way out, and Richmond Hill brings it back in. Richmond Hill tries to take a shot, blocked by Felix, who picks up the puck and brings it out of the zone. Felix up the center ice, skating around all the men, brings it deep into the Jaguar zone. He's holding the puck around the boards, passes it back to Lunny behind the net, who passes it to Hunter. The Jaguars tried to clear it out, just got it out. Jefferson was there to pick it up, passes it to Felix. Felix back into the Jaguar zone, and the Jaguars pick it up and bring it back out again. The Jaguars try to shoot it, but it's blocked by Felix. It's brought along the boards. Andretti to Jeffrey Stedman. Jeffrey Stedman up to try to get out, but couldn't quite get there. Milks clears the puck wide. Richmond Hill picks it up still at the blue line. It's still in the Flyer zone. Richmond Hill picks it up again, takes a shot on net, saved by Milks. The rebound comes out, and Jeffrey Stedman's there to clear it out. Richmond Hill takes another shot by Milks, save. Rebound comes out, picked up by Jeffrey Stedman, who clears it out up to Telford and Andretti, sorry. And Andretti brings it into the Richmond Hill zone. Andretti still being pressured by his man. Gets it bumped out. Richmond Hill brings it out into the Flyer zone, but it's picked up by Randall. Head contact. .7:39 left of the game. 2-minute penalty for Randall for head contact. Flyers go to the penalty kill with Nickel in for the face-off. Passes that to Way. Nickel picks it back up again and clears it down the board. Down the ice to the Richmond Hill goalie. Richmond Hill resetting, trying to get it out of their zone. Pressure by Telford, and Nickel picks that puck back up again and brings it back into the Jaguar zone. Little battle on the board here with Nickel and a couple of Richmond Hill players. Puck squeaks out. Richmond Hill brings it back up around their net and out of the zone. Pressure by Telford's keeping his man on his outside. Nickel's there to help out too. O'Shea and Way are pressuring their men to keep them out of the zone. O'Shea bumping his man off the puck behind the net. Telford picks up the puck and sends it deep down into the Jaguar zone. We got a minute left of the penalty. 6.5 minutes left of the game. Richmond Hill picks up that puck, clears it out. Lenny's there to dump it right back in again. Richmond Hill picking up the puck in the middle, bringing it into the zone, bumped off by Savory, and they go in offside. 39 seconds left of the penalty, 6:18 left of the game. Still 2-1 for the Orangeville Flyers. Aki's in for the face-off. Savory picks that up and dumps it up, but Richmond Hill picks it back up again. Lenny dumps them off the puck at the blue line and clears it into the Jaguar zone. The ref takes out Ethan. And Richmond Hill pick up the puck again. Sloan's there to pick it back up and dumps it deep into the zone. Lenny pressuring the puck. Got 5 seconds left of the penalty. Richmond Hill's resetting, and Randall's hot off the bench, trying to keep the puck out of the Flyer zone. He picks that up, brings it into the Jaguars zone. Couldn't quite get a piece of it, and the puck is kind of sitting center ice, and the Jaguars dump it out again. Deacon Mills is there to pick it up at the blue line, bumps up to Randall, who gets bumped off by Richmond Hill, and it's bumped up to Randall again. Randall kicking it between his feet, brings it deep into the Richmond Hill zone. Held along the boards, a little bit of a pushing here. Richmond Hill picks up the puck and brings it out. Savory at the red line dumps it deep into the zone again. Got just under 5 minutes left of the game, and Richmond Hill picks up the puck at the neutral zone and chips it deep into the Flyers. Richmond Hill picks it up at the boards, but it's bumped up to Kelly. Kelly up to Hunter. Hunter up to DeCamillis. And brings it in to the Jaguar zone along the boards. Gets bumped off the puck by Richmond Hill. Kelly was there to pick it up and Richmond Hill picks up the puck, sends it deep into the Flyer zone. Jeffrey Stedman's there to pick that up, passes it back to Felix. Felix bringing it up, passing it up to Hunter at the blue line, passes it up to Kelly, and brings it into the Flyer Richmond Hill zone, takes a shot just high and wide. Andretti's there to pick up that rebound, passes it to Felix, who keeps it in and dumps it deep again. Richmond Hill bumps it out of the zone, and Felix is there to bump it back in again. Richmond Hill picking up the puck, brings it out of their zone, centers it into the Flyer zone. It's bumped off the puck by Jeffrey Stedman and Lenny. Kelly picks that up, passes it up to Telford. Telford picks it up along the boards and dumps it into the Jaguar zone. Jaguars has that puck, resetting in their zone. Chips it into the Flyer zone and ends up sitting behind the net. Felix is there to pick it up to Telford on the near boards. Couldn't quite get a piece of it. Jaguars send it towards the net, but not quite there. O'Shea's there to battle them to keep him out. And it's picked up by Andretti and Telford. Telford passes it up to clear the zone to keep it deep into the Jaguar zone. It's picked up by Lenny. Lenny battling along the boards. Brings it out the far side. Passes it up to Way at the blue line. Way steps around his man but loses the puck. Picks it back up again and resets with Lenny. Lenny dumps it deep into the zone again. We got just 2.5 minutes left of the game. Puck was centered but couldn't quite get a piece of it, and the Jaguars cleared it out. Aki and Nicola battling it along the boards, able to bump it behind the Jaguars net where they pick it back up. Way at the blue line picks it up, takes a shot high and wide of the net. Rebounds picked up by the Jaguars and cleared up and goes for icing.
It was unintentional, but it wasn't.
I think O'Shea is going to the box. 2 minutes for charging. I think that's what it is. I don't know. It's a circling arm. He is charging. 2-minute penalty with 2:04 left of the game. Flyers are up 2-1 at the moment. Keep the pressure on, boys. Milks makes that save, cleared out to just behind the net. A little bit of a battle here, pushing back and forth. The Jaguars pick that up, clear to the blue line. Pressure by DeCamillis, bumps it out, and Randall picks up the loose puck and brings it into the Jaguar zone. Takes a shot on net just wide of the net. And the rebound's picked up by DeCamillis deep into the zone. Jaguars passing it up, blocked off by Randall. And the Jaguars dump it deep in to the Flyers zone again. We got 1:21 left of the game. Lenny clears that out. Jaguars pick it up, resetting in the neutral zone. Picked up by Sloan, who clears it down the ice. Got just a minute left of the game. Jaguars pick up the puck, bring it to their blue line. About 47 seconds left of the penalty and 49 seconds left of the game. A little bit of battle back and forth behind the net. Jaguars are keeping it on the outside. We'll bring it up to the blue line, take a shot, goes just wide of the net. 33 seconds left of the game. Jaguars fiddling it back and forth across the blue pane, brings it out to the near boards. Jaguars take a shot, saved by Milks. Cleared out around the net to the far boards. Nichols there tries to get out, couldn't quite get it out. Richmond Hill tries to take a shot. Lenny's there to block it. Richmond Hill tried to center it. 9 seconds left of the game. A little bit of tangle in the feet. Nathan picks it up and clears it down into the post of the empty net. But that is game. Orangeville Flyers won 2-1 against the Richmond Hill Jaguars. Good game, boys. Good game, boys.